Today I'm going to do a speed build. Hey everyone, this is Josh and you're watching Scattercraft. So I work for a financial tech company, and right now we're working a lot of overtime hours to help people with the COVID situation. So I thought with my limited time, this would be a great opportunity to do a speed build. So I wanted to do this build this week with just simple tools like a knife and a glue gun. I wanted to show that with very basic, cheap tools, you could still get great results. Okay, so I laid out about the size that I think I needed here. And I used a little door here to see about how high I wanted the roofs to be. I got a 45 to match the roofs up nicely. And glued that in place. Reload. Then I just freehand laid out a triangle to fill in this front piece. And for the back, I decided I wanted big wood grain on the front fascia pieces, so I laid that out with a pin on the foam here. And when cutting thick foam pieces like this, having a sharp knife is very helpful. And making multiple slow passes will get a good clean cut. And then cut that in half and laid out the fascia pieces. I wanted them to sit flush, so I cut notches in them here with my X-Acto. And then glued that on. Then I added on some more of the wood grain on the back for the parts that would show. And then I cut out the door size that I wanted here. Then I wire brushed on some texture onto some foam. And cut a few more thin wood pieces. Started to lay out the door frame. I want it to be big chunky pieces of wood. I also decided I wanted a little stone step for the front. And rounded off the corners on that. Then I drew on some stone texture. I wanted it to kind of look like river rocks. And then finished putting on the door frame. I painted everything inside the door frame black ahead of time. That way you wouldn't see pink foam that you couldn't get to later. I laid out the door on a piece of foam core with just some drawn on wood grain and a few pieces to give it dimension. I decided to go with wood for the end pieces here. I was going to go with stone, but I decided that for a speed build it'd be a lot faster to do wood and it would still look really good. Then I just finished up the rest of that. I thought a ridge piece would look nice, so I added that too. Then I just used some offcuts to make some wedges to make the foam core roof go all the way to the ground. Decided I wanted a little more really easy detail, so I got out my Citadel skulls and used one of these bird skulls for the front porch. Thought it'd be funny if the farmer had finally killed one of the ravens that was eating his crops and used its skull as a warning for its friends. Then I coated everything with black Mod Podge. I freehand cut some bricks for a chimney because I forgot to add it. Then I painted all the wood with a burnt umber. And the chimney and porch with a medium gray. And since I was going for a river rocks look, I thought I'd paint the stones a different color here to give them a little bit of variety. I just did a standard dry brush of a light mocha. And painted the skull in antique parchment. Now to just blackwash everything. That really makes those stones look awesome. I used a flesh tone wash on the skull because I didn't want it to be as dark. Then I painted regular school glue on the roof, being careful not to get any on the wood. I just used some cheap craft store flocking to give it a grass look. And doing this over craft paper makes it real easy to save your extra flocking so you're not wasting any. I had a bunch of leftover static grass tufts which I applied all over. I cut most of them in half or into 3 or 4 different pieces just to spread it out a little bit and give variety in size and make it last longer. I thought some fences would be nice, so I cut the heads off some matches. And then hot glued them to a little piece of foam core that I trimmed up with my knife. I wanted a wattle fence look, so I used some string to get that effect. And it turned out pretty good, and it was really easy to lay it out. And I put Mod Podge on it and painted everything a burnt umber, and then dry brushed the fence. After that I applied flocking to just the base with the same method I used for the roof and put some of the grass tufts on there as well. And here's the final piece. Okay, so I think I finished this in about a total of 3 hours of actual work time, not counting dry times, of course. This shows that just with simple tools like a knife and a glue gun and a little bit of paint, you can get really great results. So I did use static grass, which cost me about $9 online. But like you saw, when you cut it into multiple little pieces, you can use it for a lot of projects. I've used it on a lot of projects before, and I still have enough to do a few other projects too. So it really goes a long ways. So this is the first of the bird skulls that I've used from my Citadel Skulls set so far, and I really like it. I wish I'd used them sooner. They look really cool when they're painted up. So with the fences, I probably spent about 30 minutes building these. And with a little experimentation, I think they turned out pretty good. So just using a few matchsticks and a little bit of string, this is about as cheap of a build as you can get. So as you saw, I freehand cut pretty much every piece in this project. I don't like to spend a lot of time measuring unless I have to. And foam is really cheap, so if you mess up, it's not a big deal. You just cut another piece and use that piece for something else. I hope this fast, cheap, simple build inspired you to go out and build something yourself. If it did, please like and subscribe and share this with your friends. I'm just getting started out here, and if you share this, it'll really help the channel grow and I'd really appreciate it. And sincerely, thanks so much for watching Scattercraft. Bye.